What's happening? How's it going, sir? Uh, you were watching the game, wasn't you? You were watching the game. I know you was, weren't you? I don't know how I feel about that game. I don't. I did not know how I feel about that game. I do, man. Like, all right. So I'm from New York, and it's nice to see New York, you know, doing as well as they are this year, right? But like, I'm a huge Donovan Mitchell fan. Like, I don't like Harden. I hate the fact that Cavs picked up Harden. I think that was a waste, like a complete waste. Um, but I do like Donovan Mitchell like a lot. So I don't know. I'm like conflicted. I don't know how Knicks came back like that though. Yeah, man. I just he just didn't show up the last two quarters, like, or I guess the fourth quarter and overtime. Like he just kind of let Harden try to do things, and that was like the absolute wrong call. And why the hell was Harden guarding Jalen Brunson anyways? Like, why? Like, he's like what? There's like five or six other better defenders than Harden by far. And it's like, oh yeah, let's just 1v1 Brunson with James Harden. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Absolutely a good idea. So Brunson's like, you know what? I'm gonna just cook him each time, and he did. But anyways, I digress. So I'm gonna farm a little bit so I can get some materials to attempt to put together the Shank Rogue, or to revive Shank Rogue. I guess you could say it. I think there is a case for his comeback, but I guess we'll have to kind of see. Zio, what's up, man? So how's Necroland faring after the hot fixes? You know what's crazy? Like Rose didn't get hot fixed. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised considering that I think the issue is a bit deeper than just kind of fixing like one or two things. So I think that's why they haven't really got to us. Oh no, our leaderboards are are screwed. Like even like to get rank 1000, you still have to like. I mean, I was way even like the bottom of the ranks are like using number crux. So it's just kind of like okay, like literally the entire leaderboard is flooded with that. Necro Bloodlance enjoyers are crying. My bill is like mid B's and talking to the guys. You can get to the T's. Uh, how's all the new D4 stuff? Actually, really good. They actually did a they did a phenomenal job with that. But here's I'm gonna say I figured this out, but like um wait, what is this? Chaos Wave and Chaos Rifts drop additional Aether and their waves. Wait, are they? Is this supposed to be some like incentive to do in front of hordes? Is that what this is? Yeah. Oh, but yeah, sorry, Don. But yeah, they did really well with the new systems and stuff. What's funny is that like I didn't realize that they were working on this expansion for a long time. Like literally back before the first expansion came out, they were working on this expansion as well at the same time, which explains why some of the bugs that were fixed or manage returned in this expansion because they were using the old code as they were developing this expansion, which makes sense why a shit ton of things are bugged. But I guess that's what happens when you're trying to develop multiple things at the same time and you don't include the bug fixes, I guess, along the way because you're developing with an older, version of the game. Yeah, so like now that makes sense why a shit ton of things are bugged this season. I mean, I still, I'm not, I'm not siding with them by any means on that, but like I guess I have a better understanding of what's happening, and so I'm like, oh, okay. So, but I guess now that this is out, it should be full hands on deck of them, figuring out what was actually fixed and how to implement it with the current code and stuff like that. So things are bound to be better. Yeah. Outside of like the complete bugginess mess of the game, the game itself they did a really good job with. So kudos to the team. Clover, what's going on? What am I gonna do right now? I've yet to see a mythic war plan, like at all. Yeah, Cuirass, Nightmare Dungeon. We can do that. Nightmare Dungeon. So I can just do an escalation sigil, I guess. Hit, and then guess pit again. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to build some Shank Rogue. What's the well, I was gonna say what's the best Forgotten Soul farm, but I'm assuming that's like Nightmare Dungeons, like cracked out Nightmare Dungeons. So I'm sad we can't filter out these prisms from the loot filter. It'd be nice if we could. I'm level 263. I think I can get it to 300 before the end of the season. I'm not sure how granted it is. I've been at it for a week now. So I'll put it to you this way: when you reach Paragon like 281 or 282, I think it is 281, 282. It takes you the same amount of time it took you to get from 1 to 281 to get from 281 to 300. That's how grindy it is. It's possible if you keep playing at the rate that you're playing right now. It's definitely possible, especially if you focus on the XP part of things, right? Like, so you can, but it's gonna feel like a long grind the last like 20 levels. Are you trying to get to 300 at like for like the achievement part of things, or like? I mean, no build really requires you to have maxed out Paragon for any particular reason, and usually those extra points just kind of go into main stat, and that's it. Pretty it's pretty uneventful if you ask me. But yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Rogue stuff getting fixed at some point, whenever that will be. I can stop answering questions like, oh, is the 4-second 150 clear for pin shot? Is that that's what build is that, and why? How come you guys don't have that build? It's totally legit, right? Right? I can do Helltide a good amount of that week. Was working on your build, having fun. Now I'm just grinding XP with those worms. They're doing it for the achievement. I'm ball lightning. Okay. I mean, you got until like what? The end of June, so you definitely have time. Just don't slow up what you're doing. I'll just put it that way. How high am I pushing Wire Seeker? I'm not really one that pushes. I like to look at like how quickly I clear a level versus the opposite. So I mean, I've done like a 125 in like 5 minutes, roughly, in pit. So I mean, without gym strength, you're looking at about like a 136, 135, 136. With really, really cracked gear. With gym strength, you're looking at about like 140-ish plus. Remember you helped me back in season 1. I was trying to beat Lilith and I ended up using the poison next week. Yo, Lilith back then was such a fun fight, man. She's like still in embarrassment right now. Relative. We just do too much damage now for us to care about what she does, unfortunately. But the Mephisto fight was fun though. I actually enjoyed that. I did it like a couple of days ago for the first time. And I was like, yo, this was actually pretty cool. Those cutscenes though. Those cutscenes annoying as hell, man. I don't know why they force us to have to watch the cutscenes each time. I will say that it is a really nice cutscene though. So like it's not like it's like, you know, the cutscenes are horrible by any means. It's just like after the first like 4 or 5 times, you're just like, all right. Let me skip, please. Love of God, let me skip. Can't do it because I made 2 or 3 mistakes and low damage means I have to last longer. Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought the mechanics were fun to learn. I actually enjoyed the mechanics. Or learn the mechanics. They're mostly fair in my opinion. And I'm playing a cold build, so like, you know, I'm not like, you know, absolutely demolishing Mephisto, right? So oh, that was close. Actually, don't even know how to get out of here. This is like the really open tower, right? So it's got to be in like a corner somewhere. There we go. Am I gonna try PoE 2 next week? I was planning on it, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I got a lot going on with exams this weekend, next week, and also setting the drum line, I guess, also by the end of next week. So we'll see. Yeah, initially I thought about it, but now I'm like, maybe I do just kind of need somewhat of a break from grinding. spent so much time on D4. Not just with playing, but also like build guide writing and all that stuff and testing mechanics and all that stuff. I gotta remember I'm not a full-time streamer, so but yeah, if I don't start it next week, I think I will at some point though. Like I may not start at launch, but I think I definitely will play the new league at some point. Yeah. Pizza joins me to hand me over the, was it the crossbow? Sometimes me, I was gonna say, is that a countdown? I hope one day smoke grenade is gonna be poor, becomes a competitive build. It's too visually stunning, but so far I managed to finish a 120, but I have 2 minutes left without gem strength. I mean, I think as long as there's like support for, I guess you would. Hold on. It's basically shadow, right? Like when you take the resource rune, right? It's like the resource variant. It's like shadow damage, right? I think if there was just more support for those damage types in general, I think smoke grenade will be better in general. Like physical kind of falls behind too. Like wait, do I have to say the prisoner? No, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. Can this build kill Mephisto T12? Yeah. I mean, every rogue build technically can do it. Any like main rogue build, I'll put it that way. Like poor skill, basic skill, or death trap. Obviously, it's easiest to do it on like a poison setup per se, than like let's say a cold setup. What's the highest pit I did with Heartseeker? I don't know. I mean, I haven't done any high pits, and I don't really plan on it. I mean, highest I've done so far was like a 125 in 5 minutes, which equates to like at my gear level that equates to about like a 134 without gem strength. I was doing some tower earlier too this week. I normally don't touch tower much at all. It's got a long way to go. So I was just doing some like kind of sort of speed tower runs or whatever, just to kind of see the difference between mob density between tower and pit, so I can give feedback to devs and stuff. And I was like legit. As I was going through the tower more and more, I was like, what is the point of this? What is the point of tower right now? Like, it literally doesn't provide me any sort of different experience than like anything else I'm doing in the game. And it certainly doesn't provide me with any sort of like skill expression or anything, you know. And like the shrines and themselves become quite useless after a certain tier based on your build or whatever, because you just simply just can't really, you know, activate them to kill them. And like the density is so scarce that trying to pull stuff around the shrine or whatever just doesn't really make sense in terms of a strategic play at the moment. So it's like I don't even know what the point is. Like I'm like struggling trying to figure out. I'm like, what is it like? What is this supposed to be or do or like what is the experience this is supposed to provide that we don't already have, I guess, via Pit. Like after doing about maybe 10 runs or whatever, different various levels, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm probably not going to touch Tower for the rest of the season. Yeah. And there's bugs as well. Well, I mean, I don't really necessarily care about the leaderboard part of things. So bugs doing what they're doing on leaderboard does, you know, it's unfortunate, don't get me wrong, but I that part I don't personally care about. I'm more so concerned about the gameplay experience. Like the leaderboards itself is not enticing enough to me to want to play Tower. Like Tower needs to feel like an accomplishment of the gameplay variety that I just don't feel when I play it. Like it feels like I'm strolling, and you just hope that you have enough damage while you're strolling. I'm playing Barber Spiritborn, but I want to make a Heart Seeker. Is it still fun? I mean, I'd say so. If you've ever played old school Heartseeker, yeah, then you would like this a lot. No more Orphan Maker shenanigans, which is great. They need to have filters for each build for the tower. Yeah, they kind of need. Yeah, they do need to separate that for sure. It'd be nice in some way. But it is in beta phase though, so like, you know, I can't be too harsh about it because, you know, it does say beta, right? So they're still experimenting and, you know, figuring things out, tinkering stuff, which is, you know, fine. Oh, whoops. That thing has been there for a while. That earthquake has been spawning there for like 30 seconds. I was like, surely it's not going to keep doing this, is it? And it did. Been playing Poison Doc and Barber Spec in a Heartseeker build right now. Season 4 Victimized was fun. I would say like the part I liked about Season 4's Heartseeker was not, I won't say it was the victimized stuff. I just like being able to play it without the clone, and of course without the Orphan Maker. That's what I enjoyed about Season 4's Heartseeker, is that I dealt the damage, not my clone, more so than anything else. I didn't enjoy the double and triple dipping of different stuff in the old school caltraps, because it's either you dealt a ton of damage by activating everything, or you dealt no damage because you didn't double dip a bunch of stuff. So I felt like that difference, that big jump or a big difference between your damage or your damage spiking was actually quite annoying. But outside of that, like I did enjoy them. But this is definitely the best version of Heartseeker's ever been. And I basically have played Heartseeker in some fashion every season since season 4. You have 150 glyphs? No, I didn't abuse or exploit anything to get my glyphs to 150. So no, I have normal level. I have normal people glyphs. Dude, why do I do that? Why do I dash into explosions? Okay, why did I evade into the explosion? That's how Sightless Sets feels. Wait, what are you missing? I don't know what it's like in D3, but I don't find the rank on D4 fun. Oh, it was... I would say ranked in D3 was considerably more fun, in my opinion. Playing both, like the difference between the two is like night and day. Like, night and day. Yes, normal people glyphs levels. As in like... Boils. It definitely could have done more even if it was a beta release. I mean, yeah. Well, considering that like we've had Abattoir Azir and we had Pit for a long time, and then now we have, you know, Tower, and Tower's like a kind of a refined version of Pit or whatever. I felt like it could be in a better state than what it is right now, but it is beta. You know, I'll give it to them in that. Lord Soros says it's beta, but it played better when it was first introduced. Some of the same issues has gotten worse. Yeah, I mean, even when I played it when it first came out, like I did it for about maybe 15 runs total, just to get a feel of it, and I still kind of felt the same way. Like just the concept of what is of what it's doing. Like granted, I know like the density is obviously not there now, and so it kind of makes it feel empty and stuff, but I do think the idea of it just needs some I don't know. I feel like it doesn't provide the player with the different enough experience that would be deemed satisfying to clear to make the attempt outside of just saying, hey, look, I'm on a leaderboard. I think the fact that a leaderboard is attached to it is the only reason why people play it. If you remove the leaderboard, no one would touch Tower, ever. Like, you just wouldn't do it. Like, who would literally go and do Tower now if the leaderboard was not attached to it, right? It's not something that is even enjoyable without the attached competitive side to it. Like, and because that's the case, you gotta look at it and be like, well, wow, like I wouldn't even want to do it if there was no leaderboard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not good at all. Thanks, Peacha. GG's, man. So, like, at least, I would say, at least in, like, D3, like, look, don't get me wrong. Like D3, I think people kind of sort of have, like, the rose-tinted glasses when it comes to D3's pushing. It definitely has it definitely had problems. Like, the fishing was not fun. The trying to find the right maps and whatnot and the mob types and whatever, like, all that's not fun. Like, that's never gonna be fun in any action RPG ever. And if someone tells you that was fun, they're completely lying to you. They're absolutely lying to you. What was fun though is that when you did get the right scenario, like the right map with the right mob types, playing that scenario was fun. When you get it, playing the scenario was fun. You were excited about it. You're like, okay, cool. This layout. I know where the pylons are. I know with this mob type, they move a certain, like this kind of way. I know not to go too far into the map to expose certain pylons too quickly. And then you start thinking in your head, okay, well, if shield comes first, I'll just do this strat. Power comes first, I might save this for for the boss because this could be a one. Like there's so much that goes through your mind strategically when you get the right setup in like D3's GR pushing, that it makes it fun if you know what you're doing. And the person who knows what they're doing in like a GR push there's a big difference between someone who knows who knows what they're doing and who doesn't. Like to the point where like you can beat out someone with way better gear and higher Paragon than you if you know what you're doing. And that person who has a way better setup or whatever doesn't know what they're doing. Like they can't just walk in and get a high rank. Like it just, with great gear, it just doesn't work that way. You have to know what you're doing. That isn't the case right now with Tower. There is no there's really almost no strategy. And like, you cannot compete with someone who has like 150 glyphs because of exploits, or if someone just happens to get lucky with gem strength on the weapon. Like you really, like, there's very little you can do to change that outcome or change the trajectory of like being competitive in a skill expression way, if that makes sense. At least relative to what it was in D3. I'll put it that way. I'm not saying there's none. I'm just saying from what the mode was designed from, D3 had it in much bigger quantities. So I just find it really hard to take it seriously because it's like, if I want to push and want to have fun pushing, I'll just go play D3. That's kind of what I feel right now. Like if I want to push, I'll just push in D3. Like that experience is way more fun. Like why not play the better version of the idea? I guess you could say in my mind at least. But like I said, it's beta. We'll kind of see what they end up doing, but I mean, I don't know, man. In my opinion, I feel like they should just kind of scrap this whole tower feeling like pit idea thing, or the attempt of a greater rifts, and just figure out something different for the player base. I feel like we deserve better, in my opinion. Well, they have the excuse that they're in beta. I don't know. But like Sora said, though, like they happen to make some of the issues players have with it even worse, which is quite impressive, to say the least. Not in a good way, but just quite impressive that was managed. Which one has a better now in game? Or Resolve stacking? Well, Resolve, I don't think Resolve is going to get fixed. So you should definitely go with the Resolve version. Because that's just way more toughness in general. How you like the OKC San Antonio game last night? Yeah, I watched most of that. I'm happy to see San Antonio taking it over OKC. I don't dislike OKC by any means, but I'm not a fan of Shea. I I like the others from the team. I'm just not a fan of Shea. Alice Caruso was really good at that game too, though. It's funny because like, had it not been for Wemby being as good as he was, like there would have been way more talks about the game that Alice Caruso had. It was a monster game for him, right? But of course, Wemby got all the attention, and like rightfully so. Like he rightfully got all the attention. But Alice Caruso like balled out for sure. Granted, he was able to ball out because they were trying to shut down Shea, and so they didn't care who else was scoring as long as Shea wasn't, right? So Alex Caruso got some good looks that he normally wouldn't get, I guess you could say, which allowed him to do the things he did do. I'm not taking away from his accomplishments, but like, yeah, it's almost like Jordan Poole for like the Warriors. If you guys remember Jordan Poole before he got punched in the mouth. And then that was kind of the end of that tenure, right? So when he was playing really well with Golden State, the reason why he was doing as well as he was because all the attention was on freaking Steph Curry. It's like, well, we will quadruple team Steph Curry. We don't care who else hits shots, but we just got to make sure Steph Curry ain't hitting shots, right? So like Jordan Poole got all these good looks on the Warriors, and like the moment he left, guess what happened? When he had to be the man, and they were double teaming him, and they were treating him like the main guy from the opposition. He just wasn't really. He was pretty irrelevant after that. Like really irrelevant for that. Like after that. Assuming no exploits, leaderboard for Echo of Hatred would have been better in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, Echo Hatred is like basically echoing nightmares from Diablo 3 as well. I kind of would have liked to see like some competitive version of like Inferno Hordes, to be honest with you, like the older school Inferno Hordes. Like, and then like the wave that you end up capping out at for the most part. If you can't kill things in a timer, which I guess is what Echoing Hatred is. Kind of like a blend of both in a sense. Would have, in my opinion, would have made more sense for this game. But yeah, nothing good here. Actually, no. But is it pit again? It is pit again. Solo at the moment. I'm trying to gear up for my Shank Rogue in a minute. Yeah, Caruso did ball out. So the no shard resolve build. Oh no, you don't have to do the no shard one. You can do it. The shard one would be slightly better than no shard, but if you're having bad luck with uniques, because gearing with uniques is hard in this game right now, then I would go with the no shard because it's more legendary focused or whatever. But yeah, once you have good pieces, like good unique pieces or whatever, the shard version makes more sense. Gonna blast 100 Balaos. What are you trying to get? I feel like my resources have been kind of bad in the recent. I don't know why. Like what happened? Oh, I'm unstoppable already. Yeah, screw you, sir. We're leaving. What do you think of the Rain of Arrows Bug City build? Bug City? It's not even a Rain of Arrows build. You're just using it to help you, just to help with the exploit. There's nothing really to think about. Any exploit, all exploits are bad. I don't care how the exploit is done. All bad. All of it. I would have the same opinion about every single one of them. but it's all based around the number crux at the moment, and some other stuff, but I won't talk about it. I think what I find sad though, unfortunately, is that like it's not even about the exploits so much. Like if something is bugged, that's one thing. If something is it's an exploit, that's a different thing. What I find sad though is that there's so many people out there that would rather be illegitimate with their clears on a leaderboard than to actually like not do the exploit. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like the idea of seeing their name next to a number is like it's like the goal. Like I guess I don't want to say integrity, but it's like, how is it that we want competitive stuff in the game and yet we are so quick to basically destroy the entire thing and be content with it, but then yet complain that we don't have competitive integrity in the game. But we're real quick to sit there and exploit when given the opportunity on the tower, right? Like yeah, like the entire, like almost the entire rogue leaderboard is literally filled with the exploit. Like that's a sad. It's not even like 10 people are doing it, you know, out of like the top 1,000 like that. Like literally like 960 something people are like involved in this exploit. It's just kind of ridiculous to me. Like why? Like what do you get out of that? Maybe it's because maybe I've competed in other games, so I don't really see I don't feel what you get. I don't understand what you get out of that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like, you know, people are going to look at your clear and click on your profile and see Umbercrux and validate your clear. Like, be like, yo, you exploited. So, like, what's even the point? Like, I don't know. I mean, seriously, anything about RMT? Oh, no, yeah, I agree with that, too. I agree. I did same thing. Same thing. Pin shot still instant 150. I mean, pretty much, yeah. I think the bugs are quite ingrained with pin shot that I don't think they want to disable the whole entire build to where people just cannot play pin shot, period. Because that would be worse than just leaving the bug there. So I think that since it's a bit deeper rooted than just fixing one part of something, they just left it alone for now until they can properly fix. Because imagine like disabling the actual core skill until you fix. Like that would be so bad for the community. Can't wait for them to fix Rain of Real. That build is so cool. Yeah. Well, it's not really Rain of Real is the issue. It's more so Beast Fall bids. But yes, once that's fixed, that I will be playing that for sure. And putting a god up on max roll for that. Token, you said it totally is integrity though. Sorry, I just saw that. What was the context again? So disable Umbercrux to enable it back to how it was broken. But it was broken in like a different way. Umbercrux had multiple bugs with it before in the past. So they kind of fixed one bug and forgot to fix the other ish. So Matisse has 5 builds of pin shot. Push poison is the 150 killer. So none of Matthias's builds on Maxwell are going to have any exploits in it. Like we are not going to we're not going to promote any exploits in any of our setups. Now, if it's like a bug, you know, like a, you know, some coding bug or something where like you don't even know that it's bugged, but it's just doing more damage than it's supposed to, aka poison imbuement right now. Poison imbuement clone is actually bugged. Like that's not an exploit. That's just bugged. It's doing more damage than it's supposed to. That's one thing. But like what people are doing on the leaderboards, you have to know how to replicate the exploit. You can't just, you know, do it by accident. You can't accidentally equip the Umbercrux and accidentally cast the Umbercrux. Like, you know, those are intentional. And so we don't promote nor post any intentional exploits. The Rob is clean kicking an exploit. I'll check for a sheet. But well, yeah, I mean, it's free content. It's free content. So I mean, I don't knock him for that. Oops, I guess I did that. You said not from integrity review, but it's really an integrity thing. Oh, you mean like what I was saying, like just the integrity of the leaderboards and stuff? I guess I was trying to get my words together. I couldn't really figure out what I was trying to say. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there are parts of the player base that blatantly contradict themselves when given the opportunity. The builds in the wild now on YouTube. Oh yeah, I mean that's fine. Like if other people want to post and do whatever, you know, that's on them. Or like I said, on Maxwell, we're just not gonna do that. So if you want to go look up what the exploit is and replicate yourself, that's cool. But we're not about to like promote somebody potentially getting banned. I say potentially because it is against the TOS. Now whether they act on it, whether Blizzard acts on the, you know, on the exploit is another thing. Like they don't always necessarily, you know, apply the TOS stuff or whatever. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, we're never going to post something on Maxwell that can potentially get you banned. And I know some people don't like that because it's like, well, you know, it's not the absolute super most OP best setup or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great, but you know, we will post the best setup that isn't like an exploit. We'll still do that. Who's that? Lady of the Forest? What's going on? I haven't seen that name in a while. How's it going? Enjoying the expansion? Expansion is really good. They did a fantastic job with the expansion. Is Invincible actually an exploit though? Well, what I'm talking about the pen shot build. What build are you talking about? The Immortal Barb is not. It's technically not an exploit. No, that's just the bugs. Is pushing tower fun? I don't find it fun. I can't speak for others, but I find it incredibly boring. What about when you see someone in town with 4 G gear, maxed out gems and everything? I mean, if they got it because they played a hell of a lot, like if there's like a shit ton of hours on their account and they grinded out that, then like I mean, it doesn't bother me how, you know, that they have it. I'm not a jealous or envious dude by any means. Well, I do that all the time. I'll step right into the explosions. I guess my thing. So I guess let me probably clarify why I think the way I do with some of these things. My ferocity stacks rough. So for those who don't know, I used to play professionally, or I used to play StarCraft 2 professionally back in the day. So like, play for a pro team for a little while. Got my ass handed to me by every Korean in the book. Fun times. But like, I used to be an extremely competitive individual. But in a game like that, like, competitive integrity was a very important thing. Very, very important. No macros, no, like, there's nothing that is going to, give you an advantage over the opponent other than just pure skill. Now, granted, this is an action RPG, and action RPGs are meant to be fun. They're not really supposed to be the pinnacle of like actual competitive, who's better than who kind of sort of thing. And like, I get that. But I guess the world is so different because when I was playing StarCraft 2, if there was hacks or there were like ways to abuse something or whatever that was definitely not intended, like the competitive crowd wouldn't do it. Like, they would tell other people about it and then you wouldn't do it. And if you did do it, you were shamed for it. Like, you were absolutely shamed for it. Even back when I played Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne semi-competitively, people who were map hacking got shamed to death. Like you were shunned from the community if you were involved in any sort of, like, just like that. So imagine going from that to an action RPG where literally exploiting is the name of the game. And people get excited when an exploit comes out because it means that they can do things they normally would not be able to do. And to share it with all their friends. And then all their friends are like, exploiting too. It's like such a opposite, like, vibes for me. If that makes sense. It's kind of like, and again, this is an action RPG, and it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be very casual and fun, right? So that part I understand, right? But if that's the case, then if we're going to cheat and exploit and RMT and all this stuff like that, why even have leaderboards in the first place? Like, if the bigger part of the community is just going to find the shortest way to be able to get to a particular thing and do not care about any sort of integrity in the game whatsoever, then what's the point? What's the point of even doing leaderboard stuff or competitive stuff to begin with? I guess that's my mindset because it just seems so weird to me, right? I'm so used to just like, like the opposite. Like, someone I remember back when people were trying to like auto cast some things in like StarCraft 2 and like, yeah, that person didn't get banned in the tournament technically, but he was shunned from the community that he was never able to compete again. Literally just trying to just like autocast a skill. And yet we have complete scripts and macros in this game and we're competing in tower with macros and stuff. So it's like I just think it's wild. Greetings. Right? Like I just think it's wild that it's such a different perspective in this particular community. And again, maybe I'm the one with the with the wrong point of view and maybe the too serious point of view, right? But I just don't know. Just with anything, like if you're trying to compete in anything, like what's the point if there's no integrity behind what you're competing in? It's not even just action RPGs, it's just anything, literally anything. I don't know, like competitive shoe tying contests. If you, I don't know, like, what I'm saying? Like just anything that can be competitive, people will cheat at it. What I'm saying? But I would love, I guess I would just love to see the community just out these people so we can get a better idea of like what a competitive thing this game could be or would be or possibly. Yo, 1v1 me and shoot time. I don't know, man. I got some strats, man. I got some strats. I'm not gonna show you my bills or anything. Cheating in the basically so found game. I don't mind as much, but it's gonna put in tower now. Okay. Well, yeah, it's not the game itself. It's more so when there's a competitive aspect to it. If you remove leaderboards, it doesn't really matter at that point, right? In a sense, like it doesn't really matter because there's nothing that you're literally competing against anyone else in the game with. So if someone cheats, it's their business, I guess you could say. It has zero effect on you, but it definitely affects you if you're trying to compete on the same leaderboard in some way, shape, or form, right? BlackRock was up. So I'm not going to comment too much on that narrative that you brought up because I mean, a chunk of that has not and was not proven. I mean, he was gone for a year for a whole different reason, and there's receipts to why he was gone for a year. But there are people in the community who don't like him and will paint a narrative that fits. Now, will I say that he wasn't involved in some fishy things that got him banned? Oh no, absolutely he was. At one point in time, he did. But he got banned for it, and then he didn't do it again, and hasn't done it since. So he got what he deserved for doing the thing, and people a decade later like a whole decade later is like, I swear it'll be the people's grandchildren would be like, yo, you remember 60 years ago? You remember 60 years ago when Woody did the thing? But the thing is that the situation played out the way that it should. He did a thing, whatever that thing was that he got banned for. And he got banned for it. Like, that was the proper punishment, right? So it's not like he got away with it. Like he got banned for it. So like, and he has not done anything since, and he's never been banned ever again for anything. Yeah, and it has not been repeated. And the fact that it has not been repeated and he was still basically slaughtering everybody in hardcore, almost everybody in hardcore, outside of like maybe Soul Insane and like a couple other people, like he still was like smashing people legitly anyways against people who were cheating. So like he didn't need to do that anyway. You're not wrong though. When it comes to the leaderboards, there has to be integrity where it's pointless. Yeah, that's kind of where I stand with it. What's up with Lucky? I haven't seen him in a while. He has a kid now, so he is a dad, and that's why you don't see him. Demon Hunter mage, remember? Oh yeah, I mean, I was around that time as a Demon Hunter main. Clan ZE, yeah, we all know what they were into. And the clan name checks out too. Zero empathy. Yeah. Give you a better idea of the players. I must play the group among There's a guy who I follow in the state in the beginning of the jungle to get level 100. And I asked him, do you actually play? He's like, no, I'm playing COD right now. Nah. I don't know, man. Like I said, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe it's just me. You know, maybe I'm the one looking at it wrong, or I often feel more often than not I'm in the wrong genre. Like I'm playing in the wrong genre. When I tell people, "Hey, play a build for fun," it seems to be such a weird concept. But can this build clear, you know, pit 3042 though? I don't know, maybe. But it does all these other things though. You know, it makes you coffee. You know, you play the build, your credit score up, you know, goes up by 30. Yeah, that's nice and all, but can it clear pit 5030, you know, 36? I'm like, I mean, you're never gonna do pit 5036, so it's kind of irrelevant, right? I wouldn't point you to a bad build that, you know, that won't work. You know, play for fun. But I really think that like that appears to be such a foreign thing, and I'm just like, do people not do that? Like, do people not like just play? They look at the build and like, hey, the mechanics of that build is actually fun. I'm not saying play a weak ass setup by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying just, you know, if the build does well and is fun, then play the build. Let's see. I know it sounds like such a weird concept, but so maybe I'm the wrong. Like I guess for me, like that makes me feel like, man, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Like maybe I should just be exploiting right now, because that's the only way I can really have fun in this game, right? But I guess what gets me this is my last rant, I promise. Well, okay, no, I don't promise, because I probably will rant about something else. It'll happen, so no promises. But I guess what gets me too is that like some people will, but like the idea of like how high something can actually push. I'll answer the question, but I do find it interesting because it's like, you know, okay, let me say it this way, because this way we'll make it make more sense. When you go buy a car, you know, and you ask somebody, yo, can this car drag race? How fast can this car go? Right? Someone could tell you, oh, this car can do such and such and such and such. And it's like, they're asking that question knowing damn well they're never going to drag race with that car. They just want to know that the car can do it. They just want to know that they have a car that has the ability to drag race and beat other cars. That's primarily it. It's the same thing with builds. People are not going to actually push 130 plus on the builds because people aren't going to want to do the methods it takes to actually do that. It's not fun. People aren't going to do it. But they want to know that their build can do it. They want to play a build that has the ability to hit that certain tier. But they're never going to actually do it themselves. 97% of players will not push like that. And for good reason, don't get me wrong. So, if that's the case, why does it matter how high it goes if you're never going to do it? Like, a better question would be, how strong is it? You know, is it easy to get the T12 with? Can I boss with it? Is Mephisto easy or hard? These are the real questions, because these are things you're going to actually do. You're not going to do 135 on a row. You're just not going to do it. Because you're not going to fish. You're not going to try and fail 200-300 times to try to get it clear. You're not going to do that. So the top end is irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant to over 99% of the audience. What is relevant is the content that they do it in, right? But the only other thing I can think of is knowing that your build is strong enough to do it even if you don't do it. So you can tell your friends and everyone else, I'm playing a build that can do 150. I'm not going to do the 150, but I'm playing a build I can. Right? So like, there is I guess there is a feel good aspect about it, but the reality is that type of content is irrelevant for such a large portion of the audience. That's why I don't really like answering that question. Like I get it. I do get it. But I would love to answer like the more relevant questions. Like, like someone asked me, say, hey, can this, how does this feel versus Mephisto? Like that's a relevant question because you will be fighting Mephisto. That's something you're actually going to do. So that's a relevant question, right? Or anything T12 related. That's a relevant question. Hey, I heard cold builds are pretty awful on bosses. Is that true? That's a relevant question, right? Because you will be bossing. Like I said, I feel like I'm in the wrong genre. I totally feel I don't belong. I'm totally doing this wrong. And I'm not even like being sarcastic here. Like I really feel like I'm like such an outsider half the time. I like the drag race and drift versus soccer moms to get him out in front of that. What? Yo, they just built a Whataburger near me. Actually, I have not tried it yet. I don't know what I'm waiting on. But every time I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and then I don't do it, and then yeah. But we finally got one though, because I'm on the East Coast, and like there's rarely any Whataburgers in like the East Coast, or at least the Southeast. You better get a new car. I did kind of like when everything could do pit, and it just took, and more than that, took really no life in the game. Now it's just 150 bugs. Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, I would like to see people enjoying themselves, and I do kind of sometimes feel like people might do choices that would be against their own enjoyment because the stigma of not playing an ultra S tier build is just too big. It's too much. How does one Resolve stack on Rogue? I'm stacking Resolve, but it stacks very slowly. What build are you playing? I want to one-shot Little after she has season 1. Yo, she kicked everybody's ass in season 1, man. Season 0 and season 1. Barrage. Are you doing Poison Barrage or Cold Barrage? Cold. Okay. So if you're following a macro guide, you want to take this rune right here, the Resolve, for the clone. Because as long as the clone is out, when you cast a clone, you get 4 Resolve, and then you get 1 Resolve per second as long as the clone is out. So you take Relentless to make sure the clone stays out as long as it possibly can. The other way to stack Resolve is Cold Imbuement. So if you're playing Cold, you should get Resolves easily anyway, against anything that isn't a boss or that isn't like unstoppable. So like just regular farming, your Resolve stack should be up all the time anyways because of Cold Imbuement. The only struggle is obviously when you're fighting a boss because you can't chill him or freeze him. And that's why we do take this Shadow Clone with Resolve here to help us in that sense. It's not very fast, but it's better than nothing. I had Whataburger for the first and last time in '93 while I was in Texas. They don't have them in Wisconsin. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was like more like a West Coast thing, right? So he says, so with Resolve you get more tankier, or is there more difference between the builds? No, not really. Just Resolve stacking just makes you way more tankier. That's it. But the reason why I made different variants though, not to confuse people, is because Resolve, the amount of Resolve you can get is kind of bugged with the temper. You're not supposed to get 12 stacks when you master work it. You're supposed to. I think it's like supposed to be like actually I don't know what the amount is. Like 8 or 9 is supposed to be what it is. So it's bugged that you're getting way more stacks when you master work it than you're supposed to, which is making the Glenn's Anvil aspect perform considerably better than it normally would. So ideally, we were thinking, oh, that's going to get fixed. They're going to fix that. But they might not. But just in case they do, I decided to make a different variant and not just put Resolve on all the guides and then have you brick your gear in case they do fix it, if that makes sense. So that's why on my build guides, I do in-game and I do in-game with Resolve, and then I tell you in the notes, you know, to do it at your own discretion with probably some side gear or something, because I don't want you to, you know, brick your character or whatnot. So again, I don't think it's gonna get fixed. But there is a small chance that it might. So I just want to just put that out there. Bad. I'm looking for some like cutthroat sightless stuff so I can play my I can shank. I'm really hoping that it does work out though. Like the Shank Rogue does work out. The damage seemed like it would be good enough to, you know, to maybe warrant me putting it back up as a guide, but I always save my what I think until after I play the setup, not before. I need to get more items to change the build. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I did. I used other gear for Resolve, which was almost as good as my main stuff. So I never got 2 extra figure more. Yeah, me neither. Then again, I don't do it a lot, so it's almost like I can't really complain because I don't like just, you know, send a bunch of items and see what I get. Although that is the name of the game. I just don't do it. Even if they fixed it, the amount of Resolve you get isn't bad. Am I wrong? No, it's not bad. But like some people are getting like just insane amount of DR from it. Like just absolutely just crazy amount of it. So yeah, I mean, if they fix it, it would still be good. But it may or may not be better than maybe some of the toughness stuff that you might have already had. Like, you know, like a toughness aspect that isn't Glenn's or whatever. Like it might be equal to that or slightly better. And so when you think about it, for some class that might have issues stacking resolve or it cannot stack resolve quickly, it might be a matter of, okay, this may not be worth it for me anymore without the extra stacking or the extra ranks or whatever. So that's the thing you got to think about. And if in that case, that's good balance, right? Because it's like if it's tough to get resolve, but resolve is still like better, like slightly better than the other options, then it's kind of like you have to make the choice. It's like, okay, do you mind dealing with the inconveniences or whatever for the extra toughness, or would you rather want something more convenient but less toughness? Like that's good choice in the game, right? Right now, it's not a choice at all. Like resolve is just there's literally zero reason to not to not do it, right? And that's not good. Is this pin shot? No, this is Heart Seeker. Oh, Heart Seeker. About to do some Shank Rogue pretty soon. Shouldn't really require much regearing, to be honest with you, for Shank Rogue. Oh, where am I going? Yay, Curse Shrine. The prices of usable unique source for RC are absolutely nuts. You mean like really expensive or cheap? I mean, not many people are playing Heartseeker, at least not that I know of. Although they might, I think Barbs were doing something with Pain Gorgers, I think it was, which does require the Shard of Arathio, I think. And if that's the case, then yeah, I can understand why, but I don't think it's Rogues. At least, yeah. How's this announced at the moment? Good. It's actually good. Shard isn't too bad to farm. Regular boss key, at least. That's true. I mean, but getting a good one though definitely takes some time. I do really wish that they'll like allow us to like reroll one stat on a unique, like just one. Like let us reroll one. I can understand like not building and like, you know, and removing stats or something from it, but like the idea of us not being able to at least enchant one stat just seems kind of odd considering how random the stats are. And the fact that weapon damage always rolls on like unique one-handers. And of course, you know, some builds like range builds don't care about weapon damage, so like it's a stat that's always stuck on there that you can never get rid of. Always find that like, you know, quite awkward. Yeah, I guess we'll do this outside here. Give me as a rare currency order. Like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll farm for it. I will totally farm for it. Just let me do it. Like, give me the ability to do it. You know what I mean? You're starting out, is it better to go for pole pin shot or poison first? Mostly group play, solo also. Well, poison is stronger. But it's up to you. I'll tell you this much. Matthias, who writes the pin shot guide on actual, like, will tell you the same thing. Like, poison is stronger, but he happens to enjoy cold more. But poison is stronger. So I mean, your mileage may vary, but poison will be a easier experience because it is stronger, and it also doesn't really suffer on bosses because it's poison, as you know, as much. But Cold's burst damage is also quite fun once you get it like strong enough. Yeah, most people will say poison, but like I said, that's a totally up to you type thing. Did you get any mythic reward on war plans? Nope. I have yet to see one. Maybe you could only choose a GA to reroll. I'd be fine with that too. Like anything to sort of make them customizable, other than rerolling the like, you know, the unique affix. Which I mean, I think is actually kind of cool though. Shadow Clone working with Edna's now? No, it's not. I'm just only using Shadow Clone to help with resolve stacking. That's it. It's not dealing any damage in this build. Yeah. I wish it did though. I mean, it would give Heartseeker definitely a few more tiers of damage, like 3-ish, 3.5-ish tiers more damage if it did work. But hey. It is what it is. I hit the hard stop on 120 with Cold. Heartseeker is just not strong enough. Swat the pen shot. Poison in his day and night. Well, I mean, 120 is like not the cap for Heartseeker though. But yes, poison. You will get anything poison. Like if you have bad gear, like a mediocre setup or bad gear, poison is just going to outperform a lot earlier and easier. When you min-max both of them, they're closer than you think they are. But starting out, like a bad poison build is going to be considerably better than like a bad cold build. Like for sure. This is what I was saying earlier. Like you know, if you want an easier time, for sure, go with poison. But cold is just going to take more investment before you really start to see or feel its you know, what it can do, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah, you totally shouldn't. You totally shouldn't have been hard stuck on 120 pit. Like that's like I do those on like 3.5 minutes on my core Heartseeker setup. Then again, I've been playing Heartseeker for a while now, so I actually have pretty decent gear for it. Amulet. Movement speed. Garbage. Sitting on almost 74 crit multiplier with 7.4k. Oh no, did you look at this number, sir? I hope you didn't. Oh yeah, you did. You looked at the top number, didn't you? No, that's not good. You should look at Ava's damage video when you get a minute. Because just stacking crit damage everywhere without balancing the other multipliers is not a good idea. It seems like it would be because most action RPG games that is usually the case, but that is not how damage works here. As you can see, I have less crit damage than you do. But like I said, I can speed farm the pit that you were hard stopped at. But I mean, with that being said, like, I'm glad you were enjoying Poison, like, for sure. But just want to say that, like, you know, you weren't able to, you didn't see the end results of your journey with Cold Heartseeker, unfortunately. But I can totally understand why you enjoy Poison more. It makes sense. Figure's not bad, and you only had 2.5 then. Well, Blizzard doesn't really ever do a good job with explaining how things work in the game. It's a little better now than what it was, but like, well, the multipliers plays a part. It's not like my vulnerable is low. Even my weapon is kind of nuts. Are you following a build guide or anything, or? Because like, I have the very specific stats you should mash at work and stuff. So if you were following that, but if you were just kind of winging it, but yeah, 120 is not where you should have been hard stuck at all. Especially with that, like nowhere close. If you have really good gear, ain't no way. No way. Also could have been like maybe you're not hovering over targets with Heartseeker. That's also a common mistake because of the whole Narrow's Eye set requires you to target, which is unfortunate right now and quite silly. To get this max damage bonus out of. Hopefully that gets changed in the future. Falling language, of course, the stats ain't exactly the same, but I wouldn't say they're bad. Well, I mean, if you had that much crit damage, it must have meant that you didn't masterwork any of your vulnerable damage stuff. Like, so, for instance, like here, for example, like I got the GA on the vulnerable. I ended up masterworking the crit, but that was before. I had a different piece. If I could do it again, I would have actually masterworked the vulnerable here. Just like I did here. Like I masterworked the vulnerable here versus the crit, because after a certain point, there is diminishing returns. So the more you have of one multiplier, the worse it gets, the more you have of it. So like if you have little vulnerable versus like a lot of crit, then the vulnerable is going, like any vulnerable you add is going to be worth considerably more than just adding more crit when you have that much crit already. So like the specific stats in which to masterwork is actually tailored, like custom tailored on purpose, because there is diminishing returns. And that makes a pretty big difference in your damage. But as you were saying, with your gear being as good as it, you know, like you having really good gear, a part of me almost thinks that maybe you're not hovering over the mobs. Like you're not getting the 5-piece bonus happening. Because 120 is hella low to be stuck at with like good gear. competency zone for vulnerable. I don't temper vulnerable or GA if that's true. Well, it's a journey as you're leveling, right? So like there will be points of times where one becomes better than the other. But like how we have it on the guide is when when all the stats are there. But generally speaking, you want a good mix of all three. You know, cold / all damage multiplier because they're both in the same bucket. Crit damage and of course also vulnerable damage. One of us was thinking in the beginning of D4 for Rose, way OP, then they're gonna massive nerf. Well, I mean, with the expansion, they changed how a lot of things work. So, vulnerable is kind of back. Maybe not in the same vein as it once was, but it's actually relevant again. Whereas for a while it hasn't been. But yeah, I remember when you were saying that, like that was a big vulnerable crit nerf going into season 1 that people got really upset about. To be fair though, it was too strong. It really was too strong. However, you've had the critique of that all of beta, so it's not like they couldn't have done anything about it for like a whole year or some change since endgame beta to the several betas that had after that. So it's like you knew it was that strong, and it was released that way anyway, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, you know, just for you, I'm gonna go ahead and do the well, after I get the chest and stuff. Oh wait. I'll key in the 120 just for you. Usually 118 is like my breeze spot where I don't have to like try too hard. So it says Sork isn't a bug, nor for his ball lightning on max roll. We'll do 150 will work. I mean, with really good gear, yes. Like with investment, yes. Investments and of course know-how. Are you trying to get like a 150 achievement? The 150 achievement, I think. If so, you missed out on like the super easy 150s from the Spiritborn days. Like could have gotten out like. Except that one was like not really even like an exploit. It was just bugged, like bugged to hell. Funny. Is it Fordia? Is that how I say it? Okay. All right. So I will key in this random 120 for you. We'll just go. I'm not gonna change anything from my speed setup. I'm just gonna wing it. My stacks. It's like very little density. I don't like that mob type at all. So it actually might take you 2 staggers to kill the boss, I'm sure. Definitely won't be in 1 stagger. Especially if mobs are around. Yep, I was right, yeah, 2 staggers. There's a lot going on. Now, like I said, I do have pretty good gear, but I don't have any gem strength anywhere. So like, and my gems, the highest gems I got are like the first Heraldric, I guess you could say. But most of it is just grand gems for the most part. So I still got some room to go. Those are some crazy glyphs. Dude, do you know how many times I've been trying to do 8% on these freaking pits to get them this high? Or I'm gonna say this high. Like I'm gonna say 130s is high per se, but it did take me a while to 8% those freaking glyphs, man. Like getting to like 120 is easy-ish, I guess you could say. But like past that point, unless you guys want to do longer runs, it just seems so like pointless. Yeah, 150 is just a silly thing. Okay. Is this the min-max variant? Yeah, it is. It is.
It is done.
Except I'm not fully min-max quite yet, but I am. I did choose to do go ahead and run with Crown of Lucian, which is definitely a bit more damage, but it's hard to kind of upkeep the energy with the Crown of Lucian. So you got to kind of, well, for one, have a Starless, and 2, swap to energy here, so you do lose a little bit of grit just to be able to kind of maintain the energy. But you're also gonna make sure you don't fire too much, so you just don't drain completely. So it's a little harder to upkeep, but it's definitely more damage. I don't think I was really hitting. I was hitting in the trillions until I was able to do with Lucian. If I managed to get more damage from Transfiguration, you'll become very strong. Yeah, I don't see myself ever landing that at all on like a weapon. That'd be nice, but again, I don't transfig often at all. I'm usually too busy testing things or trying out something new. But I mean, it'll be nice if it does happen. Anyhow, let's go ahead and try to put together this Shank Rogue thing. So, for those who don't know, Shank Rogue is Invigorating Strike Rogue. I just call it Shank Rogue because the way it looks is like you're literally walking up and stabbing things. So you're literally shanking the mobs or whatever. It's exactly what it looks like. So I just call it Shank Rogue. Still praying for the fix on the beast wall so we can have a good L's build. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Because the first mythic we're playing at rank 8. Yeah, I've never seen it. You say, yeah, is it even worth? Oh, you mean the gem strength? Did they nerf resolve? Not that I know. Not that I noticed, no. My toughness still looked the exact same from what it was before and after the hotfix that they did, whatever the hotfix was for. Alright, so what do I need to do?
Eva raided my stream with 92 viewers.
Yo, dark side. We just got
I was getting ready to build.
son.
What is up?
You know how we do. Drop my new beat for these new viewers. Sheezy out.
What is up? Appreciate the raid in. I was literally getting ready to put together build Shank Rogue actually now. So I'm actually in the process of putting together some other gear pieces and whatnot. But welcome in. Hope you had a great stream, Eva. Did they pick up some food? What you gonna get? And are you gonna get enough to share with the rest of the class? All right. I gotta fix something too as well. My Spotify thing isn't Spotifying. It's not showing the right stuff. Refresh. Okay, animations. Actually, no, let me exit out Spotify and then get back in. Works. The good old turn it off and turn it back on trick. Come on. Made a road build that I used when Diablo 4 first came out. Oh, what build was that? There it is. All right. The Spotify thing is fixed. Cool. Awesome. All right. We're going to put back together Shank Rogue. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'll give you guys some gameplay of Heartseeker while I'm here. We'll do that for a little bit. That is a long. Let's pick this bow. That is a very nice bow. And he's playing Aerostorms. Okay. Oh no, you're doing the bug. Okay, I see. Wrong person. There you go. All right, so one more war plan tables. I don't like what I see. New plan. I guess I don't mind this. We'll go here. We'll do this. That's fine. Path of the Blind, Seared Archives. You don't like it? Oh, well, this one I like actually. I don't know if you replied this because I didn't hear. What gems would you upgrade first in your gear? Sapphires or resistances? Sapphires. Now that we can stack resolve, sapphires for sure. First. Those twisting blades long ago. Oh, good to meet you as well. I'm still on the grind, as you see. I'm just glad that I can find D4 enjoyable again. They did a great job with the expansion. Yeah, this is a Heart Seeker, by the way, attack. I swap between my setups so often that I just do builds instead of build. I might swap in between, like during the stream. Like I will be pretty soon after these setup war plans. Let's see. Put it up here. I feel like material should like actually have like Forgotten Souls in it. Like material, like Forgotten Souls is like a material, and like it never seems to be jointed with things that says materials ever. You change chess? Oof. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you became extremely squishy. Dot everywhere, yeah. You've been converting all your crystals? I don't know why I haven't done that, to be honest. Like, I know it's there. I've just been really lazy. Are we ever, like, bottlenecked by Veil crystals like we used to be in the past? I don't think so, but... What's better, +2 marksman or +3 imbuement skill? Depends on the build. Generally speaking, the marksman would be better in most cases, but like if you're doing poison imbuement, like the plus imbuement is actually not bad, but marksman will still be better. If you're not doing a poison build, then marksman is just straight up better. Like imbuement won't do anything for you other than extend the duration of cold imbuement. But your mileage may vary on whether or not you need that. You're welcome. Okay, well, I need pit again. gonna change my wolves from Potgar to Cervex or Surgar or Sir Se instead of Poxa. But my wolves never get there in time at the start, so I end up like chilling them too fast or whatever without getting all my proper damage bonuses, and then they become unstoppable like too quickly. Like right now, go a while for like the wolves to get there. I feel like the wolves kind of got there late. Hold on. Did I one stagger him? I did. Oh no, no, no. That was close. Oh man, I was actually close. Yeah. I thought I was gonna get it too, because like there was no other mobs around, so I'm like, okay, all the arrows are gonna hit this time. Went from Bog Rogue gets so squishy. Where do you draw a tank from? Resolve? Yeah, basically Resolve. Resolve is basically, I won't say it solves everything, but it makes it like a huge difference. So you basically temper Resolve everywhere that you can. I don't do my amulet because I'm like, I think I'm tanky enough to where stuff is still like I want to be able to feel like I can die if I make a mistake. I know that's like a weird thing to say probably, but I can't never see who I'm whispering to. I wonder when that changed or when that became a problem. But no, so like, sorry. So like Resolve stacks on like your chest, your pants, your helm, and then you want to masterwork the Resolve to 12. So GA it, masterwork it, and then also do it on your amulet if you want extra tankiness or whatever. You can do it that way too as well. It's looking like I have to do the same thing. What am I going into your party for now? Popping your world plan. Wish you luck. All right, man. I hear the XP ones are bad, like really bad, like barely give you much of anything.
Greetings.
Okay, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that from? Trying to do 0 on T12 is rough. What build are you playing? Selling items. Great. Okay. Pin shot. Are you doing cold? Yeah, bosses are hard. Until you scale your character up quite a bit, it's hard to boss on T12 with cold. Because then you don't have enough raw damage outside of frozen memories to really take on bosses. So like so cold pin shot uses the eagle horn, so it's actually not that bad against bosses though, as like let's say Heartseeker or Barrage without having to change weapons. But you do need to scale your damage a bit. Your P269. Is your glyphs and aspects pretty good? But anyhow, thanks, man. That's it's gonna be a huge damage spike. Actually not yet. When I get gem strength eventually, this would do it. You got 28% gems in your build. Those are different from 24. It's not really. I mean, you're looking at what? 16% more cold. And I already have a lot of cold, so like you don't really like your glyphs are not crazy high though. All around 80. Yeah. I don't think of what else I can tell you that can help you. Yeah. Other than the fact that cold is just, I guess how long does it take for you to kill 0 and T12 though? Like if you can give me like a guesstimate. Like is it like 15 seconds, 20 seconds? Is it more than one stagger? Less than a minute if you don't die. Okay, so it's more than one stagger. If it's more than one stagger, then it's just really getting your aspects and stuff up. If you touch bloody down, okay, yeah, definitely get your resolve stacks stuff. You definitely want to do that for sure. I'm assuming this is like a new rogue, right? Run Interiors. But yeah, you don't want to do Tyrios. Tyrios is actually not. It's like a stopgap item actually, which is funny, being that it's a mythic, right? But yeah, you definitely don't want to do Tyrios. Is there a way to get 100% uptime on Inner Sight? No. Nope. That's the reason why Inner Sight aspect is so bad. It looks great on paper. Like it looks like the strongest aspect in the game when you look at it on paper. But no, there's no way to get 100% uptime because there's an internal cooldown of 4 seconds that the tooltip doesn't tell you. So you have 4-second uptime, 4-second downtime, and then a mark appears randomly, and then you hit it once, and then all of a sudden you're full stacks again. So you almost never even get the mark to begin with. So half of the aspect isn't even working or will never work. It's so weird, right? It's so weird that they design an aspect that where half of it can't be used ever. You know what I mean? So very odd. Alright, so for those who play melee builds, what's the unique that simulates momentum? I think it was a glove, if I'm not mistaken. Like Sea Lords, this close quarters combat. Where does that incapacitated enemies aspect work. Anytime anytime they're hard CC'd, like frozen, knocked down, stunned, dazed, that's considered incapacitated. It's good, but I think on the code build, if you're already running frozen memories, I think trying to take any more conditional damage stuff, it's just gonna only hurt you, because then you're gonna be so reliant on stagger that it becomes hard to do anything when you have to fight a boss anywhere. Is it better than like Frostbitten? I would say yeah. But what build are you playing, Helldiver? What's your setup? Never it is in a long time. OR Seeker? Oh, well, I mean, if you're playing my setup, you shouldn't be running either one of those. Like if you're following my guide, you wouldn't be using any one of those aspects. Just can't get past tier 107. Oh, that's definitely just gearing at that point, because you're missing quite a bit of stuff. And or maybe you're not hovering over the mobs with the cursor. You have to actually touch the mobs with the cursor as you're attacking with the narrow's eye set in order for the 5-piece to actually work. I know, kind of silly when you think about it, but it just kind of is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and do Shank Rogue real quick. Let me see if I can make something out of that. Pretty cool. I wonder what the actually God Slayers would be actually would be fun with it. All right, so let's pull out the things I need. I need a weapon. I need it with like max. That's right. I don't need weapon damage, do I? So if I can, I think I saved some weapons with like GA life on it or something. Yeah, here it is. Cool. So I can just do the cold multiplier. I can roll. Well, so I guess we'll have to take our chances with that. Or actually, this one is fine. I guess we'll just pull out a couple, see what happens. I'm gonna actually like build to be somewhat tanky-ish. I won't say tanky, but like I gotta build for more defense because I'm playing melee. No crazy thought, super crazy thought. So I need to change my Shard of Arathio. I need life on that. We'll go with this one. I wish I could use any of those, honestly. I can't because I need both uniques. I would love to, but I need both uniques in the slot. Like there's no way to get rid of them in the setup. Yeah. So my one-hander slots is basically like taken by uniques, at least on these setups. Like if I was doing barrage or rapid fire, different story. But I actually do have a really good one-hander for that. Nah, I appreciate it though. Like for real, for real. Oh, we're taking it way back with this. Back when Jaro was actually cool and wasn't a clown. Okay, so we got this. The weapons need to stay the same. I need to switch out my ring. I'll have like a good side ring somewhere. Oh, also pants. I do have a good pair of pants too. All right, so which ring do I want? A poison ring. Interesting that I'm actually worth the attack speed on. Okay, so I know I had a better ring than that somewhere. It's not a big deal, but this one has health on it. Might need to go this route. Yeah, let me just pull this one off. Not the greatest ring, but it'll do. We pull the ring. Let's pull the. Got some invigorating striped pants. Heck yeah, here we go. And I think that's mostly it for the gearing part of things. Guess we need to go Moonrise ring. Moonrise down here with that. Oh, that's right. Because I got ferocity stacks on the amulet, so I definitely need to go with a different ass. I need to make a new amulet. All right, what throwaway amulets do I have? Pretty sure all the ones I'm using right now are not modifiable at all anymore. Okay, so this one doesn't have barrels on it. It's just no GAs on. So we'll roll with this. I'm just testing anyways. If I really like what I'm doing, then I'll invest. But until then, let's just keep it simple. But Narrow's Eye set work with the controller. You can't have it with the enemy. So it actually works better on the controller because it means that the controller will auto target. So it's actually preferable to play on the controller versus mouse and keyboard, believe it or not. Why is it that way though? Like, don't ask me. What am I clicking? Shank Rogue. Which is basically invigorating strike. I just call it Shank Rogue because it literally looks like you're shanking someone. So that's what I nicknamed it. Everybody in my community calls it Shank Rogue. Remix now. Yeah, so I guess what do you want in an amulet then? We're not using ferocity stuff. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, there's gonna be some cutthroat stuff I like here. I hate this whole 70% against injured enemies. Like that's so like that feels like bait. Lucky hit cutthroat has up to 50% chance to execute. Cutthroat skills deal. You know, that's actually not bad considering that the basics have such lucky hit. So, I mean, 50% chance to execute trash is actually that sounds really good. Actually, I might have to put that on a ring. I probably wouldn't put on an amulet, but. Actually, now I think about it, wouldn't like something like this be like extremely good in pit slash tower? If you can just find out how to kill the boss, you can skip all the elites and just execute trash. I mean, the boss will take you forever, like 5 days or whatever, but at least trash is dead. How's Destiny this season? Good. It's actually good this season. How much on the amulet? It'd be like 63%, something like that. This would be. I'm trying to think of like what other aspect I kind of here. It does. Kind of with a knot down, so expected the expected. Then marksman, master's ferocity, frostbitten. Delivering either. Yeah. It's just gonna be just generic. So I guess I'll just do Moonrise on the amulet, and then do either. I'll probably start with Malice on the ring, and then go from there.
Welcome to my home away from home.
Actually, you know what? Mouse and Moonrise are basically similar. So we'll just do Malice on Amulet, I guess. Like the see-through Mountain Dew can. Oh, yeah, because of the green screen. Forgot about that actually. Didn't even realize we dropped out Scoundrel's Kiss. What do you mean? I'm putting together a different build. This isn't Heartseeker anymore. I'm doing something different now. Yeah. So don't get worried or anything. I just can't play with Scoundrel's Kiss with a melee build, that's all.
Welcome to the Isles. What do you bring? Here's what remains.
Actually both of them. I probably won't use it right now because I'm testing, but if I do like this, I probably would actually need a good amulet at some point. So I'll have to take either or to craft on top of. Okay, so we need to cool down. Actually might need to do resource restore actually, because it's going to be real hard to keep up resources. I'm not even going to do like a GA on it. 12 is fine. That already has cooldown on it, so that's fine. But I do need to remaster word that though. I don't know why they did all damage there. That's awkward. Because I actually might want to get hit on the this is such a basic amulet ring, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll keep it that way. Let's... Yeah, so here, probably do want to hit the vulnerable damage on here though. But my crit damage isn't that high either. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. No, we're not gonna leave it. We're gonna do vulnerable damage. We're gonna do it proper. Is energy node worth it over crit for Lucian? Or yeah, because you won't be able to sustain if you don't do that. Like unless you somehow roll like like lucky hit chance resource restore on all 3 jewelry pieces. Otherwise, you won't be able to like sustain your energy at all. And that's with combat glyph. With combat glyph, starless, lucky hit chance resource. Like yeah, I mean you can make up that crit chance back easily, like on a weapon or something, like weapons or runes or whatnot. So I mean it's easy to get it back. But that damage bump to Lucian is totally worth the 5% crit chance. Appreciate the follow. We're gonna socket this. Go to the Oculus. We're gonna enchant this. we're gonna put here. All right, definitely a potion. I wonder if I'm gonna be tanky enough to actually do, like do this. I might run barrier. Okay, can I get potion? There we go. So now we need to. What was on there? Cannot do two-handed for sure.
Mainlander?
Need to do the toxin thing. Toxic. Damage increasing a little bit for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. It's totally worth. You just got to be careful with how you spam and make sure you're always hitting something.
Interesting.
So we got debilitating toxins. This is probably my best bet here. Actually, is there another defensive one that? Another defense one that's like has to do with being up close. I feel like there's a lot of aspects that are basically the same thing. Like a lot of the aspects there that are very like mostly the same, just with like with just some different wordings. Sometimes they're conditional, sometimes they're not. But they give you almost the exact same amount for some reason. So it makes it seem like you have more options than you really do. So we'll go with that. That's fine. So we'll work with that, and then we'll stack. What's it? Resource? Not resource. Resolve. Maximum resolve stacks. Come on. Give me my GA. Come on. I'm about to blow through the rest of my Forgotten Souls. Been a while since it's just taking this long to hit the GA. Oof. There we go. Get it. That's how the mash will work it.
That is a scary craftsman.
You know that that's the thing too. I might want to do resolve stacks on my on my amulet. I'm playing in melee range. I should have a bit more health too, though, going forward. Like, do I need it? Should I just be on the safe side? Probably should be. Just get me on the safe side. If it is a huge call, big difference. Oh yeah, for sure. Also, if Horrors bug this build, it won't start after you kill the first monster. That's strange. I never had that happen to me. That's interesting, actually, though. Yeah, you might have to just restart it, like just blow the key and try again. But or just leave leave the horrors and then come back. Like just TP out, TP back in, and then if that doesn't work, then you have to just probably do a new key. I've had a bug out before once. You tried 3 times? Oh man. That's awful. I'm sorry.
Gems to cut, gems to set. Bring me a challenge next time.
So we'll do this. Put this here. I'm gonna change this out, all that out. Actually, I wonder if I can do it. No, I can't. I can't do it. I was gonna say, I wonder if I can do a 2-piece, but no marksman skills, or a 2-set thing. That's what I meant to say. Sure, I'll go Pot Qua, I think, I guess. Maybe, or Igni Qua.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. So I need a second aspect. I guess the second aspect can be the same as the other thing, like the overpower. Well, actually, I don't know. Because I won't have an easy way to get overpower. Everything we do now is the only way I was getting overpower at the time was, well, I guess casting concealment grants. As long as I don't burn through it, which it shouldn't with Invigorating Strike. Make sure there's no like. Oh, I get Resolve and Ferocity with this one. I wouldn't take this one though. I'd probably do Cold. Alright, so I guess I should be fine with the overpower thing then. But there might be a cutthroat thing I might like. Sometimes dashing bugs fights too. Or does it? arms. Happened to you in the Mephisto fight? Oof. That hurts because those those keys are rare. We're gonna keep this. Yeah, I'll just go. I'll change out my boot. One of the overpower boots. Oh, that one. Yeah, there we go. But it doesn't have the whatchamacallit on it though. Guess it's fine because I'll be using flurry for movement anyway. Okay, so Qua. Actually, a part of me wants to pull. Get a like cry or something. Actually, no. Let me not do it. Let me just go Qua. Kids, stay safe. Oh, actually, you know what? I can't even do that. I gotta go Mott. Because I don't have a way to stack Dark Shroud. So it's gotta be forgot because I'm not gonna have the whatchamacallit set, so odd, I guess. So did that. What the weapon? Wait, when did I get this? That's weapon damage. I think it was this. So oh, what am I? Can I add anything? Remove. Alright, so we'll just do the whatchamacallit. That means I have to nail the crit damage though. We remove the offensive one, which is the damage over time. Life on kill. I don't know if is that utility, or is that def? I don't want to do the defense because I feel like I'm gonna lose that. It's got a resource, no? I guess life on kill is defense. That's rough, actually. Alright, I don't want to risk losing the GA itself though, so we'll just weapon. Is it gonna always do weapon damage now? Yeah, okay. It looks to be a trend. I'm not gonna bother. Let's add 6. Please let it be Dex. I knew it was me weapon. Okay, so I feel like we can keep trying. I think a part of me feels like if it doesn't have weapon damage, it's gonna always roll weapon damage. It's looking like that's this. Why is it the first thing that pops up like that though? Oh, we got crit. We did get crit damage, but it's such a extremely low value of it. All right, so I guess it is possible. It's just a matter of patience, I guess. Okay, that's on this Dex. Guess we'll just deal with the one death stat that we landed everywhere else. Weapon damage. Might take a little while. I guess that weapon damage is considerably more common. It looks like 30%. Gotta be kidding me. Gotta do me just a little better than that. Yeah, I'll deal with this. Crit chance. Oh man, my souls are about to run dry. All right, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Not even gonna bother. Ass sockets.
Beautiful, no?
Frozen memories.
What do you think?
Ended, I guess. Well, I guess let's transfigure all the stuff. Kind of hope we get something okay. That G on the max life. Okay, I did. Oh, this is my first double transmog. It didn't do the thing. A double transfiguration. This is actually a pretty decent pair of hands. Got the GA life and additional decks. Why can't my real pants roll like? I mean, it's not like best of slot, but it's definitely better than what I had on my other stuff. All right, here's what we got here. Okay, it gave me GA on life on kill. And yeah, okay. Worst possible outcome. Or worst possible place a GA could have landed, but alright. That's that. What else is there? I guess we could send it for this one. Oh wait, I didn't finish the. Let me leave the cooldown reduction where it is.
What brings you to the
I don't have enough souls to mess with it anyways. We'll just send it. Item quality, okay. That works. Okay. It's looking like I have the whatchamacallits, I think. Change out the skill. We're trying Rogue. It's one of the few classes I haven't played. Rogue is fun this season, or for the expansion. We'll try this. Well, that here. That, go for flurry. Fortify. Transporter. Wait. We did that. Now we gotta change the entire set. Also the charm. I don't know what charm. Maybe I'll try to do whatchamacallit crown, but I don't think it's gonna work out with. I don't have any cutthroat. I thought I had some cutthroat. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm like, I know I saved some cutthroat. Sightless stuff. There we go. Into. Already got one. That's that one. Okay. X-Men. Guess I'm gonna need this to proc at this, so we'll do this one. Boba. Baru, I guess. Allure. I'm gonna need some better whatchamacallits for more cutthroat ranks, but we're just testing. Okay, so go to training grounds to see if I can sustain my energy with the messages the end game with the answer. Yeah, I saw that. You crafted that like just from like a white sword, like a white weapon. Yeah, my energy. Also, I'm about to go preparation. Yeah, I can't even cast. There's just no way for me to get enough energy to do it. Okay. So I need to go a different route. A different charm. I don't know what though. I guess I could do. I could do pain gorgers and then do like a regular glove with a different aspect. I guess what other aspect would I use other than maybe expectant? I guess. I'm wearing a glove. I can't do the thing. Where's my good glove anyways? This is the good one. Allow me to put this here. Yeah. Breaking stealth. I wonder like how much can I keep up the 6-piece, which inner sight and not having to go prep. It could be fine as long as let's change this aspect though. I'm gonna do something else. Probably the weapon attack speed. I can totally use that because it's like real. My attack speed is real slow. Do this aspect. Yeah. Let's. I'm gonna try multiple different runes. I like the whole teleporting thing about it, but I'm gonna need to have a half flurry. So how about we do this one? Actually, I could go combo points now that I think about it. Because it would make sense for the like, well, How much attack speed am I getting out of that anyways? Hold on. So that's 45%. And I could change that another aspect out for just more damage if I went that route. It's actually really hard to sustain my hatred or my energy. I think I might be forced into inner sight. Also, I guess I need to increase my lucky hit chance, so we might need to go imitated. Not imitated.
Welcome to my home away from home.
Alchemical advantage. That increases my lucky hit chance, which should also increase my ability to get energy back. Yeah. Alright, that did it. Okay. So if I do, let me see if I can do it with Crown of Lucian though. Assuming no, but we'll see. Yeah, no, okay. I was too ambitious there. Definitely too ambitious. Okay. Alright, so we'll go back to Pain Gorgers. Everything is mostly where it needs to be. Do I need to change anything else? This is like kind of like a middling setup, I guess you could say. Nowhere near as good as like what I'm doing on Heartseeker gear wise. But I might change out Flurry and also mark the target. Alright, and then I gotta change my controls. I see what you did there, DH for life. Am I using fluidity already? Yeah, I use it for everything. How you teleport to the training grounds? You just click on it. Sorry, I was like so zoomed in with what I was doing. I wasn't looking at chat. There we go. Okay. So I am kind of worried about my uptime on keeping the stealth setup though. Only because I'm not using prep. And I'm also not using the Shrouded Gifts pants. Which would help on the actually, you know what? No, I can't do that either. And I need mod. So only thing I think is like se. Yeah, that's if I could do Ner instead of maybe the wolves, I mean that might help. Either that or I'm gonna have to just dash more often than I would like. Yeah, except the dash. Freaking my stealth. I don't have any other way else to break stealth. Other than like the pants. Actually, I don't think the pants even. Well, the pants don't do any, or it doesn't do that thing. I mean, the best thing the only thing I do is just like go prep. I can reset whatchamacallit. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a little harder than I thought. If only the cutthroat set actually was like decent enough damage, I would go that route, but it's not. You're forced to kind of use sightless, and because of that, this is gonna feel kind of wonky. Well, I mean, I guess we can just go for it. I am a little sad about where I think I can, what I think I can do with this, for what I thought I'd be able to do with it. But that's all right. When they fix, stuff, then things will be and feel better, I guess. We messing around with Airstorm for the LOS. Yeah, Ava put out a max roll guide on it. I think the highest he did on his setup that really wasn't that great. Like he said, his gear wasn't that great. It was like a 128. They can do 130 plus, I think. That's what he was saying. I guess we'll just YOLO this, I think. I'm a little concerned, but I guess it is what it is. We'll see. Let's take a while for the wolves to get there for some reason. I need the wolves to catch up. Either that or I gotta cast flurry more often. Just to get the proc. I wonder how Blaze Shift would actually feel with this. I guess also Crash should do the same thing. What is this? I'm messing around with some Invigorating Strike, aka Shank Rogue. Walk up and stab. But being forced to use a sightless set makes it kind of rough for melee builds that don't want to use poison. So yeah. My gear's not all that great for this, but my concern is just keeping sightless uptime.
So much good I would have done. So
I think I might do Nur instead of the wolves. I just cast flurry more often. Make sure I keep up the mark. That kind of makes the most sense. Nur. That'll help me with uptime. Nur should be fine. The potential for sure. Yeah, I mean it's I mean just the idea of just like walking up and stabbing stuff is actually quite fun. I just don't like using sightless with this. Like the cutthroat set would be so cool to deal with this if it just did more damage. Also be better if I also had a better way to get Dark Shroud stacks too. Then, cause then I can run the Cry Rune. Or whatever.
See what you've earned.
Actually, you know what I could do? It'll be less damage, but oh, and then I'll lose my attack speed. Dang. I think I'll lose too much if I do that. Resource you. Yeah, this is tough. That's the only way I really can get my resolves the way I went. Okay. So if I don't do, let's do Cry. Do an overpower Heart Seeker build. Well, overpower doesn't really exist anymore, not in the way that it used to. But the regular Heart Seeker build already uses overpower. It's just that it just doesn't do what it used to do. Because you take the variant that gives you overpower to begin with. But the old school overpower where you're doing overpower damage with like a different number, that doesn't exist anymore in this game. So is it the Cry again? No, I know it exists. Why? It's a legendary rune. Not rare rune, right? No? Am I just blind? Oh, it's a blue rune now. Really? But didn't it used to be yellow? I don't know if Sir is going to be good enough for Cry, but I guess we'll see. Is that in the build planner? It's in the build guide on Max Roll. Alright, I'm gonna have to go Wolves. I don't think there's any way around it. Where's the ritual thing? There we go. And then DT. Well, yeah, DT is gonna be very squishy. That's the squishiest rogue build. for sure. What do you like? Give me like when you're thinking about playing Rogue, what do you imagine yourself doing? But there are a lot of Rogue builds that are like, you know, decently good. That was it. Sorry. Actually, you know what I could do? Well, no, then I would need a way to teleport. Just thinking about trying to throw a marksman. Kill like barrage to proc pain, and then use Sea Lord's charm. I think I do have a Sea Lord's charm. I think I kept one. Or I thought I did. I did not. That was one of the ones I was like, I'm just gonna hold on to. Is and this is a just in case moment, and may not have it. Well, okay, well, rip that then. Okay. So I guess there isn't anything too much more than what I can do than what I'm doing right now. I just don't have like good gear for it, but it functions the way I expect it to. I guess wish I can use a different set. Otherwise, it feels kind of rigid. Let's go ahead and get my stuff and get out of here. A lot of Airstorm recently in leaderboard abusing the bug. Yeah, it's more of an exploit than a bug, but yeah. It's basically the entire leaderboards for the most part. So far I did Pinshot and DT. Did you like, which one did you like more out of those two? DT for sure. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything like that that's I'm surprised you didn't like the zoom. Oh, well, I mean, I guess you just put, I guess at that point you just put Eldrin mythic on everything if you want to continue to zoom like that. I mean, because you can zoom almost if you want to use that sword though. But DT is just naturally quick, so you may not get like that kind of mobility unless you want to do like the perma shadow step stuff. But that requires, well, I guess just like DT does, requires an insane amount of cooldown reduction to be able to like infinite shadow step with any marksman build. It's possible, but you do give up a little bit of stuff to do it. Make sure you're making the puncture build. Should you go through with it, or you're wasting your time? Depends on what kind of puncture build you're trying to make. I mean, are you trying to do cold? Trying to do poison? Like poison would be a complete waste of your time right now, unfortunately. Even though there is a poison variation of it, right? It's because you can't use the clone, because you can't imbue the clone. And right now, the only reason why poison builds, I won't say the only reason, but the big reason why poison builds are so strong right now is because the clone is applying more potency of poison imbuement than it's supposed to, and we can't. And basic attacks just can't. Basic attacks aren't imbuable on Shadow Clone because it's not working correctly yet. So you try to resolve on Pants. So with DT, even if you try to do some resolve stuff, it's hard because every piece is very, very specific. So on DT, you can't really do full resolve stacking without losing way too much damage. Yeah. So yeah, it like the whole resolve strategy just doesn't really work on DT. Yeah. Rip DT users, right? All right. We'll see what a 115 speeds look like. Maybe dash grenades will be fun. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you like zoom, that's actually kind of good. Like Dance of Knives would actually be kind of fun too. Although it won't be as zoomy, but you'll be mobile the entire time. Okay. I can't keep up Sightless the way I want to. Yeah. So I can't make this feel as smooth as I would like. I think I'm gonna have the same issue if I was to do Blaze Shift as well. I might have to just wait until they fix the or until they buff the cutthroat set. Because builds like this is like definitely based more off of vibes than trying to be like meta inducing. And it's hard for me to keep up the Sightless bonus. I don't know. Unstoppable. Believing. You know what? Let me see if I can switch. Yeah, I forgot I can switch stuff in the pit. Yeah. Let's try accumulating strikes while I'm here. Because I really don't need to cleave. Technically. No. Alright, while I'm at it. In. Quick strike. Okay, my card is getting stuck. I can't attack. Gold puncture. What would be the best puncture variation? That's actually a good question. I honestly haven't looked at the variations enough to be able to give you an answer to that. I mean, you'll be kind of be relying on Pangworker's proc anyhow, so whichever one gives you the most raw damage, like absolute raw, the most raw damage. It can't believe I'm actually surviving these this stuff. Alright, so the 115 for speed was sort of ambitious. My gear level, but it's set up. Dagger. See, I had to dash in order to like keep up the sightless bonus, which prevented me from finishing the guy off. Because I had to like relocate in the middle of the stagger just to get the thing to trigger. I can't go prep, unfortunately. Yeah, this makes it hard. I'm gonna have to wait until they the other set is until they buff the other set before this feels good. I'm gonna try it though. I think I'll be fine once I can get the right set. But for funsies, let's and I need back few taps. But like impossible escape sounds like something that could be the better way to. So we'll do that. Move through enemy second for overpower and resolve, I guess. I do have some blade shift pants, but I'm not gonna swap. I'm just gonna go with it. Doesn't using poison make you stronger? What do you mean? I mean, you have to build for it. You can't just like change to a poison variant or like a rune and all of a sudden you'll do crazy poison damage. It's like a completely, like anything poison related, it's like a completely different build. I do not have any hope at all in blade shifts. Looks cool, but yeah. Tried to down like 5 tiers. Not be taking me this long. Alright, I guess while I'm still here, let's experiment with a different thing. Alright, well, this one feels a little better actually. A little bit. Compared to the other one. Yeah, okay. I'm after killing things now with this one versus the shadow one. We'll finish this though. Yeah, I'm gonna just let it be.
Curse this place. I'm being followed.
Oh, come on. Thank you. I guess I am attacking so fast. I am running out of resources. Yeah, I can't sustain it as well. Almost. Even though even really strike definitely does more damage. I like the aesthetics of Blaze Shift. Alright. Well, I tried. I tried with that. We just need the cutthroat set to actually be useful. And then some of these things, some of these side setups would actually feel better. At least I was tanky enough to like take the damage and wasn't close to dying at any point. I just sat in explosions and it was fine. Something I'm definitely not used to doing at all, like ever. So, but Yeah, I know. Usually I never have enough toughness to do anything like that ever. Like nowhere near close. So, but anyways, do need to head out because I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. So let's see. Who to go to? What the fame last time? Oh, Bannock is on. Been a long time since I've seen him. I'll go to Bannock. He's a guy who actually used to play a lot of Diablo 3. He doesn't stream nearly as much as he did then. Now though. Wolverine build. Nah. Nah. I do think that in order for us to really experiment more with Rogue in terms of other things, we just need bug fixes, man. Like I would love to sit there and do Rain of Arrows, but we just can't. And that's so annoying. That part is so annoying. Because Rain of Arrows is like one of my favorite builds to play. So the fact that we're kind of like on waiting mode for that for the Beast Fall boost to get a hot fix is just kind of unfortunate. But anyways, I will see y'all next time. What's wrong, Beast Fall boots? It doesn't reset. It doesn't bring down the cooldown with preparation, basically. So it's just not working with random arrows. It technically doesn't work with Death Trap either, except for one rune, except for one variation. So the only reason why Death Trap is a thing is because one variant actually works with Death Trap. If that one didn't work, then Death Trap would be dead too. Crazy, right? Yeah. But hopefully we'll see it fixed soon. Enjoy Bannock. I will see you guys later, and as always, till next time. I appreciate y'all. So thanks, Schizo.